The important factors that contribute to parent success are an ability to communicate, to resolve conflicts, to keep the well-being of children at the center of the family life. So often parents get involved in these kind of conflicts where they believe that they're going to try to get the child to ally with them against the other parent. And we know from the research that that's very difficult for children. It makes them feel feelings of disloyalty, guilt, anxiety, stress, and depression. So the parent's ability to be able to communicate through conflict, to resolve conflicts, to protect their children from those conflicts are critically important to child well-being. We know that the strongest predictor of involvement with the father and the child has to do with the relationship that they have with the mother post-separation. And I've absolutely seen that to be true over and over again in my work. If the mother is highly motivated to vilify the father, to keep him out of contact with the children, to malign him when the dad isn't around, to make visitation difficult, then dads tend to get more and more discouraged. Children tend to feel more distant from the father. They develop a narrative that the father should be avoided, that he's toxic, difficult, and that really erodes their attachment to them. So the mother as the gatekeeper is a very important development, but fathers also have a responsibility to communicate with the mother in a way that doesn't perpetuate that and put the children in the middle. The biggest insight that I have in terms of those who are seeking to improve the relationship is to really work on your own communication, how you manage your inner feelings of conflict, of disappointment, of hurt, of anger. The most critical thing to do is not to put your child in the middle. Even if you feel like your ex is doing a terrible job and maligning you and doing everything in her power to ruin your relationship with your child, the best, most loving, fatherly thing you can do is to not go there. Do not follow the other person into the weeds and into the mud. You want to be a bright, shining, loving light for your children. And that's actually the biggest predictor from my clinical work and my research in terms of dads who can maintain a relationship with their children over time, or those dads who don't malign the other parent, no matter how badly they're being treated. So my most current work is on parents who are alienated or estranged. So I think fatherhood programs can be really useful in connecting fathers to other fathers and helping fathers see how common these issues are. Fathers in particular, feel so alone with this issue. They feel so ashamed, they feel cut off, they feel like everybody thinks that they're a terrible dad, that their own children don't talk to them or their own child doesn't talk to them. So again, these are fathers who are in enormous pain, and I think having a community that Fatherhood Projects can provide and a way to learn how to communicate and work through common conflicts is a very important service that we can offer. My hope for the fatherhood movement, for those who are trying to help fathers, is to really be advocates for fathers. Fathers feel very isolated. They feel very alone. Many dads have misguided ideas about masculinity and being strong and being tough, but actually ends up hurting them and makes them much more isolated. It makes it harder for them to reach out. In my 1,600 person estranged parent survey that I did through the University of Wisconsin Survey Center, 90% were moms. And I know there's a lot of estranged dads out there because I have them in my practice, but they're not reaching out for help. So my wish is that we as a society can do a much better job in reaching out to these fathers, of giving them the tools, of giving them the language of how to reach out to their children, how to respond to conflict, and how to reduce the distance.